Hello, I am Frederic L. Milliken, Executive Director of Phoenix Masonry Museum and Library. I bring you greetings today from Phoenix Masonry Live. Today's show will be a two-part paper I wrote a few years back. Part 1 is titled, I Had a Dream. I had a dream not long ago, and in that dream, I passed to the celestial lodge above, where I found myself just outside the pearly gates. There was no St. Peter there to greet me, but rather a wayfaring man with a shillelagh and a lantern, dressed in a cowled robe or tunic, with the hood pulled up over his head. So hunched over was he that I could barely see his eyes, nor his lips move. "You are a traveling man," he said in a raspy voice. "Yes, I am, and I guess I have traveled a long way," I retorted. "Can you prove it?" rasped the wayfaring man. "I am sure that I can demonstrate to anyone's satisfaction that I am a master mason," I replied. "Good, follow me." "Where are we going?" "To the Celestial Lodge." "The Celestial Lodge above? How nice." "No, just the Celestial Lodge. You're already above." As we left, I tried to step off, but I remained stuck to my place. The wayfaring man said, "You think your way around here. Just visualize yourself following me." Sure enough, I moved along effortlessly, as if on one of those conveyor belts at the airport. We arrived at our destination in a flash. Before us was what looked like colored clouds of red, blue, and purple hue, imprinted on which in navy blue, incandescent, almost glowing specks was the square and compasses. Is this what neon signs look like in heaven? I thought to myself. "That's beautiful," I said, "but where is the letter G?" "We don't use the letter G up here," replied the wayfaring man. "What the letter G symbolizes is present in the East. God does not need a symbol when God is. The I am who I am is who he is." Wow. Wouldn't Bill Clinton have a field day with that line, I thought to myself. As we got closer, a booming voice queried, "Who comes here?" "A traveling man who has passed through the pearly gates," replied the wayfaring man. "Does he have the pass?" asked the booming voice. "He has it not. I have it for him." "He shall wait until the Almighty is informed of your presence and his answer returned." Within a short period, a woman in a lavender robe with white, sparkling star sequins broke through the cloud mass and said, "You shall enter through the outer door to the anteroom." I shot a quizzical look at the wayfaring man. Reading my thoughts, he quickly answered, "We have fully implemented the lesson of the level here." The clouds parted, and I wonder if Moses was on the other side. We entered the anteroom, and the parted clouds shut again. A man was there to greet me, and before I could speak, he said, "No, I am not Moses. I am Hiram Rabiff, and I am the master of ceremonies here to guide you through your next degree. I have another degree to take? I timidly asked. Yes, my brother, but first we must dispense with a few preliminaries, convey some information, and then get you prepared. Brother Abiff asked for and received all the steps, signs, grips, and words of the earthly degrees by thought. Then he said, I must ask you if you will proceed of your own free will and accord. I have a choice, I asked. Oh, yes, we can send you back. Send me back? Where? From whence you came. But there will be one stipulation. And what might that be? You will not go back who you were there. You will start over, anew as someone else. Then who will I be? It is not predetermined, but as you say back on Earth, it's a roll of the dice. You could go back a new person to China, or Germany, or India, or Cuba, or Uganda, or anywhere. Well, and what would I do there? Whatever you choose to do. You see, with free will, you always have a choice. Bad choices, however, usually yield bad results. I think I would like to proceed right here. Very well, so it shall be. I have made a good choice? It's not for me to say. One man's garbage is another man's treasure, as the saying goes. As you probably noticed, your body, as well as ours, is but an illusion. The best description of what you are right now is pure energy. As such, instead of being unclothed or hoodwinked, you will be powered down so that you can hear but not see. Is this then the 34th degree? No, Brother Abiff replied. This is the last degree. Now follow your conductor and fear no danger. Part 2, titled The Last Degree. As I entered the lodge room, sightless, I heard the most beautiful music I had ever heard. It was not a music I was familiar with, nor was whatever produced the music instruments that I could identify. But it was, oh, so peaceful, piercing my soul and creating a sense of harmony and accord throughout. I was energy dragged or conducted in thought around the lodge to this music in what seemed like a haphazard pattern. But after 8 repetitions, I was able to discern that there were 4 repeats of 2 separate maneuvers, one being a circle and the other being a triangle. The repetition of maneuvers was necessary, as it was later explained to me, to create the image of a 3-dimensional symbol for this degree. And this symbol was one of the innermost chamber where I received this degree. The square and compasses still adorn the outside building of the lodge, but within this building was an inner building where the pyramid and globes were the symbols used. I was later to see what this symbol looked like. It was a pyramid within which were 3 globes, aligned vertically from the peak to the base. Within the top globe was a small pyramid pointing down. The bottom globe globe had a pyramid pointing up, and the middle globe had a three-dimensional six-pointed star. The meaning of this pyramid was that the spirit of the Creator, Redeemer, and Sustainer was infused into the circle of life. That never-ending circle and cycle of birth, death, rebirth, death again, rebirth again, and on into infinity. It also carried the meaning of unity, as we are all together as one, united as beings, who all possessed a piece of the Creator. The symbol was not attached anywhere, but could always appear before you and your discernment wherever you were in the innermost chamber in the form of a hologram. There was neither reception on any points of an instrument nor an obligation to this degree. It was explained to me that in my present state of neither time nor place, but just all, that penalties, oaths, and promises were superfluous. I was conducted to the south, west, and then the north of the lodge, where still powered down and only able to hear, I would have, however, the insight to view a totally private movie hologram only visible to me. In the south, I received a review of my entire life. This was shown to me in a hologram depicting people, places, events, happenings, and occurrences in a fast-moving, continuous movie, at last stopping at the moment of my passing over. It seemed as if it was over before I had just begun, but those who surrounded me assured me that it took quite a while. In the West, I viewed as before in a continuous moving hologram all the times I had inspired others, and when I was kind, compassionate, loving, and humble. Many times I was overcome with emotion, as what was presented to me was so lifelike that what had occurred in the past was happening again right before me. There is real meaning to the word reliving. And then, in the north, I relived the dark side of myself. All the times I had acted with an overbearing, bloated ego to lash out and hurt others. All my failings, my sins, and the times I had let others down. Again, I was moved to tears to think that I had acted in such a manner. And that is why these holograms were totally private to me, as those assembled around me were not there to judge, but to support. And I felt the warmth of their brotherly love and affection. Like my earthly degrees, I was conducted, but by mind, out of the innermost chamber to the anteroom, to be prepared to re-enter for the second section of the degree, the lecture. My conductor, Hiram Abiff, powered me back up to full energy and then spoke to me. Your earthly degrees have taught you the merits of the application of toleration and non-judgmentalism, he said. They have shown you how to enjoy peace, harmony, and accord among people of different races, religions, cultures, political persuasions, and economic circumstances. Now we will take you even further into that concept in the lecture of the last degree. I was readmitted into the innermost chamber and brought to the east. The image of the pyramid and globes were ever present before me in a hologram. Welcome me Welcoming me into the East was a black woman of perhaps middle age. Her feeling of brotherly love and affection was glowing warmth that infused my spirit. She commenced the lecture slowly and deliberately. The lesson of the last degree is that the separation that plagues many in their earthly pilgrimage, that division where you see others as different, less worthy, or unentitled, and which sets you apart from them, is really a separation from God. Yes, in reality, there are real differences on earth. A man and a woman on earth are actually made slightly differently and respond in different ways. There are different races, cultures, creeds, and concepts of the Creator. But to attribute something sinister to those differences is to use them to divide rather than bring together, and then to ostracize, thus making a separation. Carried to extreme, this separation progresses from distrust to suspicion, leading to contempt, to hate, and ultimately to extermination or ethnic cleansing. This disunity is a construction of humankind possessing free will and does not reflect the intentions that your Creator has for you. This division, disunity, and separation are what really the Adam and Eve story and the fall of man are all about. For in human disunity and separation exists the separation from the Almighty. You have reviewed in your initiation into the Celestial Lodge all that you have done in your human life on earth. You have relived the times when you allowed your fears of others and those differences to put you into separation. And you have relived the times when paying no attention to those differences has put you in oneness. It has been said that humankind was created in the image of God. But I say to you that each human is a piece of God and possesses a small portion of the Almighty within them. Whether that piece grows and becomes a bigger and bigger part of a human being depends on the choices each human has made in their life journey. The purpose of your journey is to feed and nurture your soul in an earthly mission that God has given you the tools to accomplish. In so doing, you enable the Almighty Creator, the Master of heaven and earth, to experience itself. Living the godly life is the ability to rise above that which seeks to divide and create chaos. It is now time, my brother, for you to commit yourself to the belief that we are all one. There are no others. When you pull away or disassociate from what you perceive to be another, you are only separating yourself from yourself and from whence you came and to whom someday you will return. When you harm or hurt what you perceive to be another, you only harm or hurt yourself. The pyramidal globes are the symbol of this degree, my brother. It teaches that all of life, its peaks and valleys, its joys and sorrows, its loves and fears, is a holy and sacred experience. It visualizes for you the concept that life is never ending, but continues to move, starting where it finished and finishing where it started. It goes around and around and on forever. In the unity of the Holy Spirit, we are all one. There is no part of us that is separate or outside the pyramid and globes. We are all pieces of the same pie. God is in us, and we are in God. We are all one. Now go in peace and harmony and account. Peace and harmony and accord, and rejoice in that knowledge. This is KROC, your classic rock station for Dallas on this Monday morning. The time is 5:30 a.m. and the big yellow ball is rising over the Metroplex on what is going to be a beautiful day. How about a little Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, for all you classic rockers who don't want to get up this morning? And so, as you can see, this was all just a dream. So I say to you all, bonsoir, mon amis. Sweet dreams to you all. Until we meet again, may the grand architect of the universe hold you in the palm of his hand.